My name is Tara and I'm so glad to have you here. In this video, I will give you a few life lessons I gained from Tyler Perry's Acrimony, starring Taraji P. Henson as Melinda Gale and Lyric Bent as Robert Gale. For those who forgot know it, just into it, here's a quick synopsis. Melinda Gale, a devoted wife, tired of supporting her dreamer husband, Robert Gale, ends their 18-year-long marriage. After his dreams finally come true, she regrets the divorce, but is enraged when she finds out that her happy ending has gone to another woman. Will this couple get their happy ending, or will she prove to be a danger to herself and others? There's a lot to unpack, so let's get into it. Life lesson number 1. We cannot continue to treat mental instability like it's no big deal. Melinda and Robert met in the rain. Walking in opposite directions, they bumped into each other, sending everything into puddles. Melinda was instantly irate due to her important papers being ruined by the muddy water. Something that could have been absolved by a simple "I'm sorry" became a whole ordeal that would have kept them apart if it was not for Robert's charm. During the early stages of the relationship, things went cold. After days of no communication, Melinda decided to pull up. Instead of knocking on the door and saying, "Hey, what's up? How you doing? What you been up to?" she sat outside of his RV for over an hour just to find out that he was cheating on her with another girl inside by the name of Diana. At this point, they were still in college. They hadn't been together long, and they had no real promises between them to be exclusive. Yet Melinda became so enraged that she used her Jeep to drive into the trailer, pushing it over with Robert and Diana inside. Dang near 20 years later, a lost wallet, cheating allegations, and a jeopardized family business and home pushed Melinda to demand a divorce. After Robert was gone, Melinda sat defeated and deflated. By the time the divorce was finalized, it was clear that Melinda was not well. Yet Brenda insisted on celebrating the divorce, pushing her into a new relationship, and rejoicing in Robert's downfall. After his battery was a success, Melinda lashed out at her sisters for convincing her to leave her husband. She then attempted to get Robert back, but was livid and embarrassed when she found out that her happy ending had gone to Diana, the same woman he cheated on her with back in college. Combine all of this with her mishandled mental instability, and the trailer incident becomes a cakewalk in comparison to the destruction she caused in the end. So many of us deal with mentally unstable people the same way June, the middle sister who tiptoed around the issue, or as Sarah, the ill-equipped best friend who attempted to reason with her. Others behave like Brenda, the eldest sister who egged her on to act from a place of anger, or Robert, the dismissive husband who said she'd calm down. In June and Sarah's defense, they meant well. However, I don't know who's worse between Brenda and Robert, especially considering that they both had seen how destructive Melinda could actually be. Now, we may not all be dealing with people whose anger is as explosive as Melinda's, but many of us coexist with people, whether in our homes or community, who show all the signs of mental instability or a lack of self-regulation. We behave as these characters behaved, just to turn around shocked when they prove to be a danger to themselves and others. I'm not proclaiming to have all the answers, but we cannot continue to treat mental instability like it's no big deal. Life lesson number 2. Be careful about pouring your very last into someone else's dream. Melinda worked 2 jobs while he proclaimed it would be difficult to work a job, study, and work on his battery. Honestly, he never had any intention of doing anything other than working on that battery. And even worse, He never even tried to partner with any company other than Prescott. It was as if he could not think beyond using her and winning the lottery via that one company. Dream chasing is expensive, and dreamers will drain you dry if you let them. Much of the whole starving artist bit that we watch him go throughout the movie is completely self inflicted. He had been talking about this battery that could recharge itself since college, and his plan had been underdeveloped the whole time. She believed in him and was willing to carry him until it was realized. So when the dream was finally realized without her, she felt away. Because if such things could happen without Melinda there to carry him to or across the finish line, then why did she waste all that time and money doing so? Keep in mind, she thought everyone around her was smarter than she. So it wasn't surprising that once his dream was realized without her, she seemed to be lost, as if she didn't have any purpose if it was not to help him realize his dreams. Be careful about pouring your very last into someone else's dream. Many people who don't have dreams of their own or believe that they are capable of doing great things do as Melinda did. They buy into the dreams of loved ones and make supporting them in their dreams their purpose. So much so that they will pour their very last into them and their dream. Unfortunately, many of these pours are enabling their loved ones in their starving artist bit. This is a dangerous disposition because it will likely end in disappointment and resentment. You, as the person who loves them, do not have to support their every whim with your money. You have to be able to support them without going beyond your means. Life lesson number 3. Don't let the potential surprise ending fool you. It's so easy to watch the trailer flipping scene and say, Melinda is crazy. But Robert isn't sound. It's a special blend of instability that a person would put their own body on the line just to harm you. And it is absolutely absurd to stay with someone who would. Not to mention anyone who would go this far because someone cheated on them would never let the cheater live it down. Combine this with his lies about his past, consistent unemployment, and the fact that she blames him for her inability to have children. And it is absolutely asinine for these two people to stay together. Yet this movie seems to go out of its way to say they could have lived happily ever after if she had just stuck it out a little bit longer. However, this idea just isn't true, because there would be too much resentment between them for this relationship to ever work. And few things make up for dang near 20 years of torture. Also, he only ends up with this great fortune because Tyler Perry wrote it that way. Realistically, he didn't do anything concrete to make his dream come to pass. And he only served as a leech to his wife by requesting and expecting her to be his benefactor. The potential surprise ending doesn't change the fact that she should have divorced him a long time ago, especially since she had come to resent him long before she released him. It's so easy to write this movie off as an absurd, ill-contrived story. But people stay in senseless, resent-filled relationships every day, holding on to potential and the promise of a better future. Throughout this movie, we see him use the promise of a beautiful, opulent life to keep her holding on. But potential is not reason enough to stay. He seemingly has so much potential when she meets him. He's smart, in a fiscally sound field, and has a groundbreaking idea. But in the 18 years they are together, we never see that potential blossom into anything. Instead, he sucks her dry in every way possible, yet the end suggests that she should have stuck around and let him suck on her some more just so that they could get to that happy ending. And as much as we like to pretend that such stories are irrelevant, Most of us know at least one couple that has been together for years or decades with little to no happiness or stability between them. Not to mention all the people who have stayed in relationships holding on to the potential of what they could be despite a pattern of nonsense and hurtful behavior. Please don't let the potential surprise ending fool you into staying longer than you should. Comment below. Have you ever stayed in a relationship too long? If so, what made you let go? Now I know someone's watching this asking, did you like this movie? On a scale of 1 to 5 stars, I would give Acrimony 1.3 stars. After all, the actors show up and do their job. Honestly, I hate this movie more and more every time I see it. It can't decide what type of movie it wants to be, who's the antagonist and protagonist, and it's way too reckless in how it treats mental health concerns. It is not in any way kind or empathetic to the mentally unstable. It in many ways deduces real mental health concerns to dang she crazy. And the use of Nina Simone's music to underscore certain scenes only adds to the bees be crazy slant. Admittedly, though, it does bring some very necessary conversations to the table. Now it's your turn. Don't forget to share, subscribe, hit the bell, and or tell me your thoughts down in the comments. Did you like the movie? Did you learn anything? Or was it just a good time?